Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to Abbotsford Small Business, where you can, of course, find us at abbotsfordsmallbusiness.com. You can also find us on our Gmail account at abbotsfordsmallbusiness@gmail.com, or you can get a hold of us through our Magic Jack phone number, which is 778-800-0246. I'm really glad that you came back for another show. And this show is a little bit of a heartbreaker because okay, let me explain it to you. I'm almost speechless, aren't I? Oh, hey, by the way, you like these better than the over-the-ear headphones? These plug right into the ear, like you screw them right into your ear, and they do not come out. They're just magnificent. All the others that come, that come with your smartphone and stuff, you screw them into the side of your head, like Frankenstein, and they fall out. They just drive me crazy. But these ones have a little cup, and they have dedicated right and left ear. And the sound of these things are just wonderful. This is Sony. Got it on sale for almost half price, so I was very pleased. These are sound canceling headbuds, earbuds. And what you can do is you can turn on the sound canceling. You see this little LED light? I don't think the camera could pick it up. I don't notice a tremendous difference. I mean, these are not expensive sound canceling earbuds. Bose and other manufacturers make really high quality ones for $300 and $400 and $500. But this one isn't bad. I needed something that I could use on my iPods and on my phone when I listen to audiobooks and when I listen to podcasts. Because when I'm around the house, when I'm unloading the dishwasher and doing vacuuming and straightening up and in the broadcast studio, touching up and doing the green screen and the lighting and stuff, I plug these things into my smartphone and just listen on air to all my podcast shows. It's just brilliant. So today I want to talk to you about not getting ripped off by some certain SEO companies. Now, let me start by saying this. There are a lot of good, reputable companies out there. But I want to break this down, and I want to say to you that I personally know of several people that pay anywhere between $250 and $400 a month for a company to come along and say to them, look, we'll build a website for you. We'll handle all of the domain name registration. Also, we'll put it up and we will manage it for you. And we'll handle the whole deal. We'll even do the Google AdWords and make sure that you get near the top. And we'll promise so many hits. Okay, here's the thing. You can't promise people so many hits until you start paying real big bucks. And by that I mean is you can do anything with a lot of money. If you have $4,500 to spend, and I mean 4,500 a month, yes, you can find an SEO that will almost guarantee that your business goes to the top of the list. But who's got that kind of cash floating around? Also, you can be unethical, you can be bankrupt, you can be just the worst business person in the world, and you can still give this person $4,500, and they'll make sure that your company rises to the top on Google, just like a wonderful company that has just been in business for years and years. You can buy a gamed system on the internet. And so that's got me real upset. And I was listening to a podcast that said exactly that the other day. And it's true. But here's some good news. I would advise against signing on the dotted line if a person comes up to you and say, oh, well, we're going to do your SEO, and all you have to do is lock into a contract for a year or 2 years. Usually they're 2 years. Don't do that until you've looked at the alternatives. You may like what the SEO companies have to offer, but I think there's better cost-efficient ways and more valuable ways for you. Remember, the SEO companies, they're going to protect themselves. If you do some work yourself and blog and podcast yourself, you own that media. You can use that media again and again, and you can use that media to your advantage. You have something that you're creating that is extremely valuable. If you hire somebody to be an SEO, and all they do is once every day they'll throw in a couple of keywords to keep your website kind of in the middle and going up on the ranks a little bit, that's not enough in this market today. You have to do something different. You have to stand out. Your company has to be better and dynamic, more dynamic than the competition. You have to outservice the competition. You have to outsell, you have to outthink the competition. And one way of doing that is by blogging and podcasting. And so I've written down a couple of quick points that I think really merits a discussion here. First point on the list, avoid going to an SEO package that locks you in, and they really lock you in, and then locks you out. This is what I mean. Usually, once you lock into an SEO package, you have no control over your website whatsoever. Yes, you can make minor suggestions and say, I want that video here, I want this picture here, I want this da-da-da-da-da, but you don't have any authorization or any power to change the website. You've sold that right for 2 years, or however long the term is. And remember, if they do the domain, they also own your domain for 2 years. That's very, very important. So I want to caution you against doing that until you've taken a look at all the facts. You may decide SEO is for you if you just don't have time. Okay, so number 2, get a free Blogger account. And I'm going to do a complete podcast series on your free Blogger account. If you go to www.blogger.com, sign up for a free blog. It will appear as abcrecycling.blogspot.com. Guess who owns Blogger? Google. Google owns Google, the world's best search engine, #1 search engine. Google owns YouTube, the #2 world's best search engine. Google owns Blogger, and a very, very powerful and dynamic blog platform for free. They also show you how to make money on your blogs. They have a really great system that I will use Camtasia, and I'll show you, all the really neat things. I will step you through opening up a free Blogger website of your own blog, and then you can start blogging. Number 3, start blogging at the very least. At the very least, you must in your blogs. And let me explain what a blog is. A blog is you coming on the internet and saying, I have a business. Say, for example, you have a business, home repair. Right? So you have this business and you want to reach much more customers than you're doing now. What does it home repair entail? Is it outside or inside? Okay, so you specialize in outside home repairs of painting and fixing up and all this kind of stuff. Take the time to sit down and blog about how to clean your gutters properly. A lot of people do not know how to do that. How to paint properly, how to prepare your siding for paint. You think, well, it's defeating the purpose. People are going to just do it on their own. Some people will. Some people will do it on your own. But you will become known as an educational resource. If you're a mechanic, wow, there's so many things you can do. You can do, a lot of people, their cars are getting older and they're getting noisy. There's a product out there called, I think it's called Dynamat, that is fairly easy to work with. And it's like a rubberized flooring. And it's a sound absorption material, and you can put that in the trunk, and you can tear up the carpets in the car, and lay that over, and then lay the carpet, and it does a fantastic job of noise control. You can take an old car that's worth $6,000 or $7,000 that's starting to get a lot of road noise, put that Dynamat on it. Wow, it sounds like $1 million. You know, it's very, very quiet. And as soon as you do that, the perception and the value of the car goes up. And then, for example, if you're a mechanic, and you can say, well, what really drives people crazy? The sound. So once you've got that Dynamat sold on them, or show them how to apply the Dynamat, then show them how to apply, there's a liquid soundproofing agent that you can get that you can paint on the underbody of your car or have it sprayed on. Go down to whoever does that, take a video of that, and see if you can partner up with them and put that video on your website. Guess what happens? Now, you're offering a great service. You're offering extra value to your customer, and you're also selling and bringing in a partner, those people that do the spray on, right? And you're bringing them in. And then you can say, if people come to you from my website, we'll give you a little coupon code. You give them 10%, you give me 10%. So really what happens is the people that have the undercoating, they have to take a 20% cut. Well, guess what? If they take a 20% cut, but their sales go up by 25, 30, 35%, they're not going to mind. So you have a little coupon code on your website, and you say, and it could be a key number generator where it gives a different coupon code every time, or just they would generate one coupon code for this special for this month, and then anybody that goes there to his website will get 10% off, and you'd get a 10% kickback. That is what I'm talking about. Really, really good business sense. So that's what a blog initially is. You're logging. It's like a business diary. So your blog must contain, at the very least, these couple of things. It must be educational. You must educate somebody and have them come to the blog and say, wow, you know what? I knew that, but I forgot. Or, wow, you know what? I never knew that. It's new information for me. It must be informational. There is a difference between educational and information. When I went to college, it was education. You had to study for it. Information is just, hey, this is a great tire. Take a look at these tires, and this is why I bought them. It can be networking information, right? So that's the difference between education and information. It must be helpful. You must help people, because that's why you're in business, isn't it? To help fulfill a need. You must fill a need. Okay, that was the next one. And it must be fun and passionate. You have to find a way to capture your audience so it is fun and inventive and creative, and it shows your passion. Hey, people love to watch people on video if they have passion. They'll watch it all day if you have enough passion. Number 4, here we go, video podcast. So did that answer your question about blogging on number 3? Set up with a free blog, and there's so much you can do. It's just crazy. Number 4, produce a video podcast. This camera that I'm talking into, that you're seeing right now, it can be had for $100. It is a high-def cam. It is called a Logitech Pro 9000 camera. You can take it out on the road. You can put it in your studio. You can use it as a webcam for Skype. It's crazy what you can do. So, video podcast. You can record real-life situations and adventures. If you're a berry farm and you own a berry farm, for goodness sakes, go out there and videotape happy berry pickers. Videotape happy berry customers eating your consumable fruit. Make sure that you use tags. When you go into YouTube, when you upload a video, you'll see about halfway or 3/4 of the way down the page, it'll say tags. That's really important, because that's what the spiders, the web crawlers, source out. So for example, if you own a berry farm, I would suggest, if you're in the Abbotsford area, go Abbotsford, put the first word as Abbotsford, and then berry. Don't go berry first and then Abbotsford, because you are a local business. You want to appeal to a local market, right? You're not shipping your berries to Malaysia. You are selling your berries locally. So use a local word. Use the word in your town, Abbotsford, and then berries or raspberries or blueberries or whatever you specialize in, right? So tagging is very, very important. Okay, make sure that you use the tags section in YouTube so your blogs get re-indexed. Remember, I talked a little while ago, when you add to your blog or website on a consistent basis, Google recognizes that, and automatically, just because there's activity, it keeps it up. I mean, if you Google my name, Rick Haaland, oh my goodness, I'll keep you reading for hours, because I've got over 240 videos, I think, on YouTube. And I've got blogs. I got 3 or 4 blogs, and there's a lot of stuff up there. You know, if you Google Abbotsford small business, boom, guess what comes up? I put Abbotsford as my first word for the tag, and then Abbotsford small, and then Abbotsford small business. So use of tag words are very, very important. As a matter of fact, there is what they call a keyword generator that you can go on. There's free keyword generators, and what they do is they take the word that you're thinking of using on the internet, and they will tell you how popular it is, because the more popular the word is, or the more powerful, or the more unique, and the more hits that word has, the better chances it will have of picking it up by a spider or a web crawler. So I would strongly suggest go out and get a free keyword generator. Number 5, invite clients to present their issues and do podcasts clearly fixing that need. Okay, so say, for example, you are a rancher, right? and you're ranching or you're farming, and you're a farmer of grain and hay. Yeah, grain and hay is gray. So you sell alfalfa, right? So what is the situation, the challenge for an alfalfa farmer when they want to sell their product? They have to go out and get the customer. B, they have to find out what's the best time to, when do they need alfalfa, and what's the best prices. So if you're prepared with that and you show them the quality of your alfalfa, if you've got a video showing how you take alfalfa off the fields, how you store it, how you stack it, how you dry it, how you treat it differently than any other farmers, and if you don't do something unique, find something and do it uniquely and stick to that pattern and then put it on a video. It's very, very important. A video tells a story, and stories are okay, I'll ask you a question. How much do you enjoy watching a really good movie? A lot. Have you ever entertained the thought of owning your own TV station or radio station? Because with this system that I'm putting together, or these suggestions, you can. With a $100 camera, a microphone, well, this microphone is $250, but you can get a snowball microphone that's $100. So for $200, you've got audio, and you've got video, or the other way around, audio and video, and then you just hook it up to your computer, boom, you're on. You're well on your way. Number 6, after you're known as an educational resource, when you build up enough videos in your repertoire, in your little video library, say you build up 50 videos on how to fix something for a customer's needs, and they've got an email on your page, and they email you and say, I have a question. How do you fix this? Likely you're going to have a video explaining that. Wouldn't it be much better to send them the link to the video than to just give them an email, oh, this is how you do it? You don't have to spend the time anymore explaining it. You've explained it in a video. Repurpose that video, send it to your clients. They will really, really thank you for it, and it'll have valuable results. Also, if that video really helped the other person, they can take that and embed it on their website as well. And you created that video in the beginning. Number 7, offer something to potential and existing clients to create added value. So, for example, you could offer for the month of January, February, a 10% or a 20% discount if you use this particular code. Here's the kicker. In order for them to get to that code, they have to watch 2 or 3 videos on your website. And there's a little program that you can set up that you can lock that in. So they must watch those videos before they get the code. Hey, I know a lot of people that'll sit down and watch a 4 or 5 minute video. If they can get 10 or 20% off the product, that's easy. And then once they get through that video and you give them the code, A, you've got a potential customer and you've got their email. B, you give them a discount. So actually what you've done is you've asked to close the sale right there immediately. C, it creates excitement, and it also creates urgency. There's a limited time offer on this. It's just like any store that has a brick and mortar that is retail. They want to create a sense of urgency. You can do that on the internet as well. Number 8, video testimonials from satisfied clients. This is very, very powerful. As soon as you have a video library, and as soon as they're starting to go up and they're getting recognized and you're getting comments and people like them, the thumb on some pages that, yes, I like it, then ask a couple of your very satisfied clients if they wouldn't mind coming on the show, on your particular blog show, and do a testimonial. Tell you what, say you have a customer base of 200 people, and say just 10% of those 200 people might be interested on giving you a testimonial. That's 20 people, isn't it? Right? You cut that in half again, you've got 10 people that wouldn't mind coming in. You may have to give them a discount. You may have to say, listen, if you want to come on the show and do a testimonial, I'll give you 20% or 30% off of this next purchase of da-da-da-da. Hey, we live in a give and take world, don't we? I give something to you and you give back, like I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It happens in the business world, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's called reciprocal networking. It works. So we've covered 8 steps, and I'm going to do separate podcasts on some of these steps, but I wanted to have a conversation with you because I don't think people really realize how many steps they can take to not get, I'll say ripped off, but to not get taken by these companies that are selling these really, really expensive SEO packages that are really unnecessary. You can do almost all of it yourself, and you build up a valuable educational and informative library yourself that you own. Okay, one thing. As soon as it goes onto YouTube, you do not own the rights to it anymore. You own a certain amount of rights, but YouTube really can take some of the rights to your video because you're using it on their service. Don't forget, it's hosted for free, your video, right? If you really have something that you want to protect, a video that you say, I need all the rights to this, absolutely all the rights, you can easily store it on your own website. And people can access it from your website instead of YouTube. That's easy to do too. So I hope this has helped, and we've covered 8 points on how not to get ripped off, scammed, how not to lighten your wallet through an SEO packet, okay? Folks, thanks so much for joining us. If you have a question or a comment, please let us know on averageforsmallbusiness@gmail.com. We'll see you next show. Having a great time and have a great day of business. Thanks. Bye-bye.